promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Discover new worlds of fun at Ozone Entertainment in Orbit.
Oh! Exactly!
Check out the arcade. Take a break from everything and chill in the sensory room. Try out the VR escape room, jelly ball, or play air hockey, pool, and more. And don't forget axe throwing.
I'm big, I'm weak.
Everybody wins at Ozone Entertainment in Orville.
Face of greatness is standing right here in front of you. So listen closely, I'ma tell you what you're gonna. Just give it a limelight. Just give it a limelight. Face of greatness is standing right here in front of you. So listen closely, I'ma tell you what you're gonna. Just give it a limelight. Just give it a limelight. Just give it a limelight. Y'all ain't ready for none like us. PCW trouble to some of you stunting tough. When your best is not enough and everything's looking rough, you gotta push past it fast, ain't no stopping when it built like us. So catch your buzz that goes along with those that shine bright. Through sweat and blood, I paved the road that glows in limelight. And rhyme tied and fight for whatever's necessary. Not temporary, we varied, invested very rarely. No time to be sedentary, everything else is secondary. Success and nothing less is what I expect till I'm dead and buried. Nearly clearing the ceiling when I face the crowd is cheering. Never weary or fearing as we chase our adversary. Facing greatness is standing right here in front of you. So listen closely, I'ma tell you what you're gonna. Just give it a limelight. Just give it a limelight. Facing greatness is standing right here in front of you. So listen closely, I'ma tell you what you're gonna. Just give it a limelight. Just give it a limelight.
I know time everyone for coming on this very hot night to PCW Pandemonium. We appreciate you guys. You all having a good time? Awesome. So, as everyone knows now, I'm the president of PCW. I've been doing to make changes here that benefit the company. And as some of you know, president also means I have to take care of all my employees under the PCW umbrella. Some of you know that there's been some friction with a certain commentator called NorCal Jimmy and Leprechaun Jimmy.
Not me.
It's fine. So, as a way to try and start a clean slate, let bygones be bygones, this person came to me with an idea, and I graciously said yes. So, without further ado, please give the best welcome you can to Doctor Heywood for his new talk show, The Doctor's Office.
Boo!
Yes, Jimmy, thank you. You know, folks, you guys might not be aware because it wasn't on YouTube. It got pulled from the channel. I think we had some evidence on it. But I was injured at PCW Full Throttle in Chico when a 500-pounder Bad News Blakeslee.
Deservedly.
He slashed me in the ring. And let me tell you guys, he
What the hell is this?
And then you take it twice because I don't forget, and I don't forget. Jimmy, this will start to mollify me, but I definitely have some problems with this company and what's been going on. You bloods seem to have forgotten who I am, so if you don't know who I am, raise your hand. Now smack yourself because it means you don't watch PCW on YouTube, you little traitor. Go ahead, just smack yourself. There you go. Good job, kid. If you can hit something right with your life, Zach Reed,
A terrible person.
you don't own as much of this company as you think you do. And you should be more worried about holding on to PCW than you are those belts. Brandon Johnson, my cameraman here. Who owns this camera? Me. C-Ply. Who owns that camera? This guy. I own that camera. Right there. Hey, James Tate. Who owns those headphones you're slapping your guns into?
You do.
That's it, right. Who owns the soundboard you're using? Me. I own the entrance videos. I am the guy who has made Zach Reed's dream that when he was 17 years old come true. So you bloods remember who butters the bread in this company. Because I got the margarine and I wield a big knife. Now all that being said, I've got a couple guests tonight, and you bloods all hopped up on bone resin, probably have a short-term memory. So Amy, why don't you run my package?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shut up.
That's a long look. Click twice is all drop instead. And again, kicks him up. This comes at any time. And he's disappointing with this show. This is brutal. Someone needs to stop.
No, this is not just wrestling like Green Light. Now listen to this. Wrestling Green Light is a teacher.
Teaching young Ethan Reyno the ultimate lesson in pro wrestling.
Look at him sitting up there.
You will
And
always
then play possum. Chico Lopez.
no mercy.
Slam his soul out. Look at this. Now look, Chico Lopez. Goes to the Painless Boys. And such a great athlete. He was able to take out. Because you guys went to play at me, I got plenty to say to you, lady. Here it comes, 1, 2, 3, count. I'm getting the stories on film. She told me to leave out. No, these guys are cheats. Disgusting. Disgusting. Did you see the conspiracy between Ethan Reyno and Chico Lopez? And it made me think. Ethan Reyno, he lied about his age. He wasn't even 16. He was 2 weeks away from his 16th birthday. He was really 15. So he's a little liar in the first place. And he had because I'm going to be asking them to my next guest, the master of athleticism, a genius in his own right. He is 3,088 days and counting. Dynamite Division Champion.
Not a real title with PCW.
The Bad Boy Boyce LeGrande.
Well, there he is, the Dynamite Division Champion. Again, a defunct championship, not recognized here at PCW. But as he likes to say, he has been the champion for over 3,000 days and counting. The Bad Boy Boyce LeGrande on his way to the ring. I'm here joined by this time my special guest, Anthony Antonucci. How are you doing, good sir? Let's get you a new headset, my man. That one needs to be modified. This is the one Doc is wearing, so it's probably nice and warmed up. Try not to get any of that stupid on you.
It's hard to get the stupid on me when it's all on you.
Oh, wow, okay, well, fair enough, fair enough. But the Bad Boy Boyce LeGrande's here. You familiar with Boyce LeGrande? You seen him in your days, Anthony?
Yeah, you know, back when I started my career, Boyce was a guy at All Pro Wrestling. He was an up-and-comer. It's good to see that over the years he's maintained. He's still able to get it done. I hear you talking about he's been a champion for over 3,000 days.
I mean, it's a really weird claim. It's a belt from a company that no longer exists, and he somehow still has property on it.
Well, if he hasn't lost it.
Well, I guess you're right. He doesn't really defend it either, but that's okay.
Checks out. What I'm really interested in seeing is this main event. That's why I'm out here tonight.
Okay.
I spent a lot of time in the back, not to take anything away from Boyce LeGrande and his 3,000-day title run, but the tension is so thick back there, you could cut it with a knife.
I believe it. I believe it.
It's like a clear division.
I tell you, there's no pleasing these plebeians.
You said you're in charge of the music and all of that. Did you hire the guy over there that's controlling that?
That's one example I keep out of him while I was injured.
Horrible! He needs to be fired right now.
I will get on that with the PCW board, but boys, go ahead and have a seat if you'd like to stand. I want you to feel comfortable here in the doctor's office. But boys, first let me ask you, how many years have you been wrestling?
Somebody's lining some pockets back there.
Well, they could be lining some pockets, but you know, I've done some research, and Ethan Reyno doesn't necessarily come from money.
Nobody likes you.
It's just him and his mom. So you gotta wonder what they have to offer. Someone like Chico Lopez, someone like
What kind of dirty insinuation is the Doc doing?
Just him and his mom, right?
Well, Doc's right about them not coming for money.
I did.
Sounds like
I was back there, those guys were finishing other people's bottles of water.
She did slide into my DMs asking me to do a logo for her son. You saw it. You're gonna see it. She asked me to call him
I think this kid was mowing my lawns last week.
What? No, you've got to confuse for someone else. That's Ethan Reyno, standout athlete at River Valley High School. 16-year-old, they do have it right. He is a prodigy. I don't know what these two grown men are going to do in the ring to him, though.
Well, hey, man, it's a man's sport.
I know that. That's why I'm worried for this kid.
But again, maybe he wasn't the lawn guy. The newspaper boy.
No, again, I'm telling you, this kid's a standout athlete in track, football. He's amazing. Ethan Reyno has nothing but the world in front of him.
Well, you know, these kids don't have a lot of money. It's possible that this is the guy. As a matter of fact, I'd be willing to stake my reputation on it. This is the kid who was at the car wash the other day doing my windows.
Okay, well, maybe.
This kid with a squeegee.
Right.
Crystal clear. Diamond standard of window washing. This guy really has the fans behind him, doesn't he?
He sure does, I'm telling you.
Come on, settle down. I'm just asking questions. Let me ask you a question, Ethan. Do you love your mother? Of course you do. Everyone loves their mother. Boyce loves his mom. I love my mom. A lot of people love your mom. It's great. It's great, young man. So listen.
Mother sounds very popular.
Boyce was trying to show you some respect by sitting on the rope so that you could come in. You decided to skirt. Hey, is that how your mom raised you? Did she give you this much manners? Here, you can put this on a fan cam, mama.
That's disrespectful.
First of all, you don't talk to my goddamn mom that way.
Ooh, watch your language, boy.
Hey, first off, you're only 16. You let him talk like that? I think you got the problem, Mom. How are you raising this boy? Because that's all he is a boy. He's not a man. Don't you touch me, kid. Don't you touch me. You got a lucky win over me. You had the referee in your pocket as well. So you need to just chill, all right? Don't get hurt out here, okay? Don't get hurt. I came out here, I agreed to come out here for one reason. We can hear you. We can hear you. We can hear you. The amount of respect that this kid is showing, that's a respect reflection on you.
Ethan Reyno has something to say.
He sure does. Keep trying to grab that mic.
Check this out. Sorry, I got this. Ethan, check it out. Now I'm trying to be serious here, all right? Calm down. You are disrespectful. Look, as a 25-year veteran in this business, I'm in the back, I'm watching all these matches. You came out here and you had one hell of a match against me. All right? So get this shot. You're a 25-year veteran here in PCW. Our first match as a 16-year-old kid, and I whooped her goddamn ass.
Man, young man's dropping bombs tonight.
I'm trying to show you some respect. Why don't you show me some?
Oh, shut Doc on his dumb ass.
Look, man, let's bury the hatchet.
Oh, a little hatchet bearing going on. I don't trust him, Ethan.
As long as it's not between the shoulder blades, he's got nothing to worry about.
Well, that's what I'm worried about happening. I don't know why you trust a man like Boyce.
Do your school proud. Do your class proud. Show the man champ. Show some class. There you go.
All right, there you go.
There. See, folks? A happy ending. Some respect.
There it is.
Look at
Oh, no!
Look at that.
Ridiculous, Boyce.
What you call ridiculous, I call inevitable. Ethan Reyno knew the cards were stacked against him when he walked out here.
He should have, right.
What I wanted to tell you.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, man. Oh, stomps right to the melon.
Welcome to the business, kid.
Oh, ridiculous.
One more thing. October 14th, off the chain, Ethan Reyno against Boyce LeGrande.
Okay, another challenges have been issued by the Dynamite Division Champion.
Well, Reno should be grateful. It's not every day you get called into a title match. This is a huge opportunity for him if he shows out.
Watch it not be a title match, too. It should be. You're damn right.
You're already in the pocket. What's going on? What's going on? Hey, he better not be the referee.
Chico Lopez out here trying to help this young man out. Oh, he had his guts stomped in.
Better than stomped out.
Nah, I hear you, Anthony, but still.
We'll see you October 14th at PCW off the chain.
Despicable.
So how many newspapers you think he needs to deliver to get the money to make it to the arena?
Oh.
Shows what type of man you are that can only hit chip shots. You want the match at October 15th? You got it, you son of a bitch.
Oh, challenge accepted. Challenge accepted. Doc's coming back here with a stinky SCD grin. I don't know if that headset's working. It was dead earlier.
Well, you know, the doctor can carry so that your mic will pick me up. That's how good I am. What'd you think of the doctor's office?
Well, I don't know about videotape child abuse, but it was pretty close. I don't know.
His mom signed a waiver.
Oh, okay, that's how it goes. Okay, gotcha.
Have you introduced your friend to the plebs?
I have introduced him to the plebs, but not to you. This is Anthony Marcus, my good friend, former trainer, longtime cohort. He's seen the ups and downs of the road. He's here to call the main event with us tonight.
Well, honored to have you here, Anthony.
Doc, it's a pleasure to meet you. I heard a lot about you.
Oh, thank you. All good things, I'm sure.
And anything else was lies.
Yeah.
You know what time it is? It's Roundup.
Is that Roundup? I'll take this easy, thanks.
Is that Roundup?
Yeah. Why don't you take this twice?
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly. What are you doing? Get that pizza box back in the ring.
Last slice to the last king.
It's Roundup, baby!
Who can resist that melty cheese, tangy tomato sauce, and spicy pepperoni?
You're always doing that. I brought the pizza for everybody.
Pizza Roundup with locations in Marysville, Loma Rica, and Biggs. RC and Dawn get their debut album Slept On, featuring the hits Funk With Us and Oh Too Thick. Check them out on iTunes and Spotify. RC and Dawn.
Yeah, I was in the back earlier talking with the boys. I spent a lot of time with Blakeslee.
Well, he definitely needs it, but I'm going to try and not carry a grudge. As I was saying at the doctor's office, he avalanched me, broke my ribs, ruptured my diaphragm.
It's your main event!
Well, enough ambulatory talk. It's time for the main event.
Time limit on 25 minutes. It is for the PCW Championship!
Now, in my opinion, this guy here is the most underrated wrestler in the back.
I might not disagree with you. The challenger, Bad News Blakeslee, a mountain of a man. You know, Doc, I had the privilege to be joined by the big man in the backstage area before tonight's action comes for place. Let's go ahead and take it back to myself and get that interview right now.
Wrestling fans, it's my pleasure to welcome at this time Bad News Blakeslee. Bad news, this is the biggest night of your life. You're in the main event tonight, challenging for that PCW Heavyweight Championship. How do you feel about it, big man?
I think you know how I feel. You've been right here. I put the call out to Orville. I put the call out to PCW, and they have answered. Manny Roa, I know you got something up your sleeve. I know. As soon as I get out there, those dogs that you control are going to be right there, ready to save your butt. But I got a whole city behind me. Manny Roa, if you even think about leaving my city with the PCW title, I've got some bad news for you.
You're welcome, big man. Hey, bad news is coming your way, PCW. Stay tuned.
Well, there you have it, Doc. A man of little words. However, you can tell he's ready to unseat Manny Roa tonight.
Well, I'm sure he's ready. I have all the respect in the world for the power that is Bad News Blakeslee, but he's made a lot of bad decisions, listened to a lot of the wrong people. That's what put him into conflict with me and what ultimately had me use him as an example of brains over brawn. I made my statement clear. I guaranteed I would get Filthy Mike Felt to win over Bad News Blakeslee, and I did. You may disagree with the methods. I may have had to sacrifice myself, but I just showed how this man has made bad decisions. He needs to stop listening to Zach He's giving me the side eye. Don't come over here. I took the worst he had. I'm back.
If he had to.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared at all. I'm not scared of him.
Keep telling yourself that.
I'm not. And another man who's not scared of him.
Oh no, Manny Roa is the reason I'm here.
Okay.
Pure and simple, I've been following this guy's career from afar. Manny Roa is a very impressive specimen. Well, in my opinion, he's a good champion. He's a prideful man. He calls himself the king. Blakeslee is a monster. In my time, they would have called him a mastodon. I like to call him the mastodon Dada. But Manny Roa is not a little man himself, and he's not coming out here to bow down to this guy. When I was in the back, there was a clear division. I was mentioning this earlier in the locker room. You could feel the tension. It was hotter than hell back there, man. Everyone was sweating, but there was no place hotter than right here. And that's why I'm out here right now.
That's awesome. Good to hear. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, I appreciate being here. Dream come true.
Well, speaking of the heat in the back, I had an opportunity to talk to the Last King about his match with Bad News. So let's kick it backstage to the Last King, Manny Roa. All right, folks, I had to sneak backstage during intermission to congratulate my friend. Big money match, Ethan Reyno, makes everything better.
That's the ranch dressing of PCW. It does make everything better.
You're damn right.
New level. We're back on track, baby. Everything's A-OK. A-OK. A-OK.
All right.
Come on.
Ray Sean.
He's still got the gold. He's still got the gold.
Man.
And let's get ours
You
back.
know what? Go ahead, take the rest of the night off. Go hit the showers.
Totally. You earned it, buddy. You earned it.
Yeah, you earned it.
You earned it.
baby. Who's the
You man.
You know what?
He's the best. He's the best.
You guys go join him.
Yeah.
You guys go take the night off.
You don't got a thing to worry about, buddy. I know we might have had our differences earlier, but Manny, you're our king, and I'll never let you down. Ever again. Go.
Well, that was celebratory. Dr. Heywood here with the... Yeah, go ahead. I feel you. Dr. Heywood here with the Last King Manny Roa and PCW Champion Manny. So glad to be here with you as you get ready to walk into quite literally the biggest match of your career as you take on the 6'10", 500-pound Bad News Blakeslee. And you know I've got no love for that fat love of trash, so I'm hoping you've got something special planned for him.
You know what, Doc? I think I do. I'm a bit of a history buff when it comes to wrestling. You know what it takes to be a champion? You know what it takes to be the top guy, Doc? You got to be a 5-tool athlete in this business. And me, obviously, I got 5 tools.
More than that, I would say.
But you know what, Blakeslee? You know what? You're a big guy. And you sometimes win. I'll give you that. But that's all you got. Bad News, you're big. But, again, that's it. You can't hang with me when it comes to speed, stamina, psychology, charisma. I beat you in every category tenfold. This year, this is just an exhibition for the people. This is just a chance for me to show exactly how dominant of a champion I am. The reason I am the last king of professional wrestling is because I slay all comers. Big, tall, short, quick, fast, it doesn't matter. I take them all out because I win. So I'll see you out there, Bad News. But there's only one guy getting bad news today, and it ain't me.
the Last King Manny Roa spreading the good news of the new level. He's about to slay the PCW giant, and happy days will be here again, especially for Doctor Heywood. Folks, the big championship match is coming up next. We're going down to ringside.
Well, there you have it, gentlemen. The Last King is confident that he can outperform, outthink, and outstrategize Bad News Blakeslee and can walk out tonight with that PCW Championship securely over his shoulders.
Yeah, after talking to Blakeslee in the back, I'd agree with that. If there's any weak spot in this man's game, it's going to be the mental aspect.
How do you mean?
Well, as Heywood said earlier, and I respect his opinion because he's a doctor, Bad News is listening to a lot of the wrong people. What he needs to do is find that voice, that one person who can tell him what to do.
Okay.
And I don't mean give him orders or bark to him, but just lead him and guide him and mold him in his career. Because as he's going right now, he's going off the whim of these fans, and these people are idiots. They can't tell you what to do. If you're going to keep living your life for these people, you're never going to get anywhere. I asked him multiple times, do you feel like you should have got a title shot sooner? Having the right person in his corner, he would have had it. These fans can't do that for him.
Might not be wrong about that.
The challenger from Visalia, California. He is 6'10", weighing in at a whopping 500 pounds. Bad News Blakeslee. And now, the champion from Oroville, California, weighing in at 270 pounds. He is the Last King of professional wrestling and is your PCW champion, Manny Roa.
Hail to the King, baby!
Say what you want about Manny not being concerned. He sure does look concerned to hand that belt over to Christina, knowing it may be his last time doing so.
Karina,
Sorry, Karina, you're right.
it's been a long day. I feel you, but I don't see the reluctance.
Well, Manny does know the gravity of the situation. This is probably the stiffest challenge he's faced since he's got in the ring.
No doubt. There is the lovely PCW Championship, another West Coast Creations.
Hey, have you ever faced a 500-pound man before?
No, I've been in the same ring as Larry Blackball in a Pro Battle Royal match, but never one-on-one, no.
The closest I can remember is Joe Applebaum.
Yeah.
447 pounds. 6'7". This guy's got him whooped.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do.
Let me tell you, when he splashed me, I felt everything in my body just give out. It was as close to death as I have ever come. I couldn't breathe. I was coughing and choking.
What would it take to get you back here?
You couldn't pay me enough money. I don't even like sharing the same building with Bad News Blakeslee.
Well, bells away, we're underway. 25 minutes, additional 10 minutes for this championship match. One fall to a finish. Bad News Blakeslee, the challenger in green. Manny Roa, the champion and Last King in purple. Oh, and Manny Roa, starting with some of his trademark shots, having zero effect on Bad News.
You might as well be punching on a refrigerator.
Oh no!
Big blows from Blakeslee. Straight down, what the velocity from Bad News.
And Bad News playing the time, playing to the plebs.
I just can't get over the sheer thickness of this human being.
He's humongous. And again, down. Right across that breastplate.
And Manny, with that low center of gravity, even is just forced to buckle down under the weight of the power of those chops.
Ducking a clothesline, one of his own. Trying to knock that mountain man down. A little bit of progress from the King. Oh! He has his head taken off.
The ring, just the bounce and give on that from Manny hitting it was just stupendous. Oh, get out of there, Manny, get out of there! He does not want any of that.
His mistake was playing to the fans. And the time it took for him to go and look at the crowd, get their approval, he could have won this match.
You're not wrong. Anthony Marcus out here with us tonight, folks, making a lot of sense. In the meantime, with little delay, here comes Bad News. Oh! Would he catch the corner of that bell? My God, and he hit his head hit the table.
Right out there by referee and training Frankie. He's one of Chico's boys. Oh!
It's like getting hit in the chest with a frying pan.
Oh, yeah, and a cast iron one, too, not one of those Teflon POSs.
Skillet. I think skillet is the word.
Yeah. See, this is an educated man. Why can't you be more like him?
Well, he does know his cookware. Oh, what a shot.
What can I say? I'm a lover and an eater.
Bad News Blakeslee left hugging the ring post outside the ring. And now Manny Roa looks like he will surely take a count-out victory right here.
Work smarter, not harder. Why would you want to fight that guy any more than you have to?
You know what I'm really impressed with is your official, Karina Kyle, is able to keep these two men under control.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of meat in that ring, a lot of violence, and a lot of potential for injury. She's putting herself in harm's way for sure.
Well, she's our senior official for a reason. She's been doing this for, 7, 8 years. Oh, and another forearm.
I think they heard that Bella with Chico.
Oh, it's just raring back on Bad News. Has the big man on Dream Street. Oh, what does he call that?
The King's execution.
My word,
he
what a
just
shot.
made the decree and took Blakeslee's head off.
Can he get him over, though? Right shoulder up from the big man.
Manny even did the veteran move. He knew he was close to the ropes and grabbed Blakeslee's arm and tucked it in there, which might be why Blakeslee was able to get the leverage and pop out.
Definitely left a hole open for him to get that right shoulder up, Doc. You're 100% right.
God, I love hearing you say that.
No. Happens at least, once, twice a night?
See, but Blakeslee just takes all this. He's not even look like he's upset.
Oh, wait a minute.
Whoa, Manny did it. Uh-oh.
Oh, now it's a little different.
There it is. That's what I've been looking for, that aggression. He needs to get mad. Quit playing for these fans and go for it. Good Lord.
What a ham hock from Blakeslee, the challenger. The champion Roa is now in deep trouble.
Championship!
That's right.
Oh,
oh no!
Oh my God! Karina Kyle is out, and referee Frankie checking on her. Calling for Chico Lopez to come out. Here comes Chico Lopez.
Oh my word.
Right now, he needs to be inflicting more punishment on Roa. Roa's going to have a quick recovery.
Right, Roa's using all this time to get his win back.
This is the kind of mistake that I was talking about earlier. If he had the right person there to direct him, he'd be fine right now. What he needs to focus on is dishing out as much punishment on Roa as possible while these referees are down and making sure this man can't stand.
Take your opportunities where you can. The message
Blakeslee
we're hearing right now.
Yeah, but Blakeslee, like, oh my word, like Anthony Marcus
Well,
said.
if he's so concerned, forfeit the match, go out there.
Why is there no referee here? I need to pay attention. All three of our referees are distracted.
Manny Roa just leveled the mountain. What are you talking about?
Look, he just threw him down to the ground.
That was a gum wrapper.
There was no gum wrapper.
All I see is a fair fight.
Oh my, come on.
There's no referee, there's no official out there.
Oh, here comes Frankie.
Frankie, call it 1, 2. It was almost done.
Talking about getting thrown in the frying pan, junior official Frankie's first match is for the PCW Championship, and it is heated.
I can't say enough about Manny Roa being able to recover so quickly from that beating this man put on.
That's the drive of the champion right there. That's why he wears the crown on his head.
Well, if you're going to call yourself the Last King, you better act like it.
Well, he's giving some orders right now. And Frankie, really, he's only in training.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. Splash the corner. Oh, Roa's right in the drop zone.
Don't wait for these people. Finish this man. Big mistake.
But if he wins this, it could be all over. Oh my God!
1, 2, 3.
You can count to 1,000,000. That will collapse your lungs.
These two are out here.
Listen. Could Manny Roa do any damage that Bad News just did to him by himself? No.
What are you talking about? In what case does that make it okay to make this match 3-on-1?
It evens it up. Bad News Blakeslee could seriously injure any one single competitor. Okay, here we go. The cult of Zach Reeb.
Cult of Zach Reeb.
All the Kool-Aid drinkers.
Well, we're back to even now.
Blakeslee should have never went for the pin after that splash. He should have just got up and repeated it.
And he's got those knocks again. There's clearly his hand out. Oh, he caught him.
Oh no!
Oh, have you ever seen Manny Roa slam the city?
Never in my career. Oh my God! Someone at least check on the King. He took 2 of those giant splashes. He has got to be in some serious trouble medically speaking. He could have internal bleeding.
A long time coming. Well-deserved championship.
Wait a minute here. Referee Frankie.
Being told by the referee Frankie Bassett that
That's his last name.
has officially been disqualified.
What?
Title can't change hands on the disqualification.
Your winner of the match, Bad News Blakeslee. No! However, the PCW Championship can only change hands during an event of a pinfall or submission, which means still your PCW Champion.
Let's call it what it really means. They just shoved it in Bad News and broke it off.
I mean, that's what. Referee, he was the referee in charge before Chico Lopez, and he had to
surprised he's not upset.
How do you know he's not upset, Lumps? Look at that look on his face.
He's in shock. Oh my God!
Oh no! Put a little kid down.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wow.
That's what he should have been doing.
He just broke that little kid in half.
Rightfully so. This guy just got screwed over.
Oh my God!
Oh, Chico.
Chico, you don't want to be there. But if you want to stay there, that's fine.
Chico's in on it. He's part of it.
Oh, Chico dumped the floor. Oh, no, no!
Oh, my God!
Oh, that poor kid is going to puke.
Turn that guy into a greasy spot in the ring.
He's lucky if it's going to come out that end.
Splash him again. That's what he should do.
Go get in there, Chico. Save little Frankie.
Chico isn't stupid.
Frankie is convulsing. I can't believe what we're seeing out of Bad News. Another one. Oh, my God.
Oh, Chico Lopez finally coming for some help. Here comes the new buds, the gorilla, the dudes. What's King Cash gonna do in his neck brace?
Look at the G-Baby over here. Oh, no.
Oh, little gay baby.
Look at the fear in the faces of these men at ringside.
Oh, little Ethan Reyno coming out too, the mama's boy. Oh my God! He got him a third time!
Unreal. This is graphic. Disgusting.
That's what they call instant karma.
Yeah, I mean, he took away Bad News' dreams. He was following the rules like you like it when they do, James Haight. Oh, is Leo Hipster actually gonna nope? Oh, look at this old hillbilly back here, like he's gonna take off Bad News. Oh, look at him! Look at him! He's got that kid up. He's got to be 8 feet in the air. Oh my God!
On top of all of them.
Bad News is going berserk.
Unlimited potential. He just needs to be directed a little bit better.
Well, you notice Manny and the rest of the New Levels are still out here.
Well, as they wisely should, he's flipped his lid.
Look at the faces of these kids at ringside. They look like they just found out Santa Claus is fake.
I'll never forget the look on my son's face when I told him it was great. Oh, look at the slobber.
Oh, look out.
Yeah, get out of there, Zach May. Oh!
Later, Zach May.
Hit me, baby, one more time. There goes Mr. T-Bag.
Oh, that's my hookup.
Blakeslee's out here spreading the bad news.
Yeah, he is. And it's contagious.
Jimmy back getting out of the way, thankfully.
Yeah, that little Keebler elf better.
Oh, he's not.
Oh, he's coming this way, Doc.
No,
he is. He's coming this way.
No, he's not. Bygones are bygones. Bygones. No. Shit.
You pointing at us?
See you later, Doc.
Doc has powdered up. Oh no, Blakeslee. You don't want to do this.
Come on, Heywood. I can sit on the mic just like you and run my mouth.
Get behind me, Hayden. I got you.
Well, Doc Heywood, like the coward that he is out of here.
Yeah, he didn't even ask how we're doing.
No.
I got a cane.
Yeah. And I'm hiding behind you, that's for sure. Well, that was one hell of a surprising finish to our main event. A lot of questions unanswered still. Anthony, do you have anything to add to this end of our night?
Just one, thanks for having me.
Anytime.
Two, I think we saw something here that's going to have long-lasting implications for this company.
I think you may be right, my friend. I think you may be right.
Blakeslee looks like he's leaving.
He's out of here.
He's had enough. He didn't say bye to the fans.
No, that's true. He did not.
That might have been the first thing he got right tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to PCW Pandemonium.
Well, that's it, folks. My name's James Hay. For Anthony Marcus.
And for Doc Heywood, who's not here.
Yeah, the torquey Doc Heywood.
The late Doc Heywood.
Yeah, he's gone. We'll tell you to take it easy and take it twice, whatever that moron says. Have a great night. We'll see you next time.
Convention Center for PCW Off the Chain.